Hello everyone, welcome back to Lone Pine Tarot, or of course if you're new here, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the first time, and thank you so much for joining me for our pick a card reading today. That's on a pretty exciting topic. We're talking about your next win with a big impact, so kind of like a blessing reading with a bit of a victory success twist. So without further ado, let us pick our pile leaders to choose our messages with. We're picking with 3 different tarot decks today. So for pile number 1 over here on the left, you are picking with the Spacious Tarot. And here is the 6 of Wands from said deck. Okay, so pile 1, Spacious Tarot. Pile 2, here in the middle, you're choosing the Ethereal Visions Tarot. And here is your 6 of Wands from that deck. And last but not least, for our wonderful pile 3 over here on the right, you're choosing with the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot, and here is your 6 of Wands from your deck. So quick refresher, pile 1, Spacious Tarot, pile 2, Ethereal Visions, and pile 3, Ghosts and Spirits. Though as I always say, you're perfectly welcome to pause right here if you need more time to decide what pile you would like read for you. If you're new to pick a card readings and you want my suggestion for a method, or you just want to take a short, blissful moment out of your busy, stressful day, please follow my voice right now. So please close your eyes and take in a deep, cleansing breath. Imagine light filling your lungs as you do so, then hold it for just a moment or two. And then when you breathe back out again, open your eyes and look at these 3 different options, these 3 different piles. Where are your eyes drawn most first? What feels right down in your gut, or your intuition, as we like to say in our community? And that is the pile I recommend you choose today. But whatever your method, whenever you are ready, drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment beneath the reading. Find the timestamp for your pile, and I'll see you in our chat about your next big win that will have a really big impact. See you in the reading. Hello there, pile number 1. Welcome to your pick a card reading that's about your next big win and its big impact. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the Spacious Tarot for your deck today. Now, when we choose with tarot decks, I like to put the leader card right back into said deck before we shuffle it for your tarot spread. So Spirit, please come forward and tell us a little bit more about pile 1's next big win and the impact it will have. Thank you. Okay, this one for sure. Okay, and we'll start drawing the rest from here. Beautiful. And we're also going to draw one of your oracle cards to start as well. There we go. Okay, let's unveil some cards. Pile number 1. So your botanical inspirations flower today is asters, which is elegance and patience. And the quote says, "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished," from Lao Tzu. Now, that tells me, pile number 1, that this win of yours is something related to something that you've been waiting for a really long time. Okay, because as the quote says, nature does not hurry, yet everything is still accomplished. I almost get the feeling that maybe some of you have already kind of given up on this thing. Maybe it's been such a long wait that you've been thinking to yourself, you know what? I feel like this ship is never going to come to shore. I feel like this is never going to come to pass. Or maybe you haven't necessarily given up on it, pile number 1, but maybe it's kind of become a bit back burner. You know what I mean? A bit of, well, you know, I'm not seeing a lot of fruits out of my labor with this area of my life, so I'm just going to kind of set it over here and see what happens. It's almost like planting a seed and just letting it grow without giving it too much close attention. So whatever in your life right now matches that description, I feel like this is where the win is coming from. So in that way, pile number 1, it's almost kind of unexpected. You're kind of like, oh, I had no idea that that was there. I had no idea that that was doing things for me or growing behind my back, because I just wasn't paying attention to it. Okay, so we'll set your pile leader over here, or I'm not saying your pile leader, your flower, I should say, to the left, and then let's look at your tarot spread. I would not be shocked if you got the 4 of Cups today, but we'll see. So the first tarot card is the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay, overcoming a time that you thought was the end of something, or you thought, like, there's no way I'm going to get anything more out of this, so I just need to pick up and leave. Okay, yeah, so that's very reflective of what I already said, pile 1. It's stemming from some sort of event that felt like a loss. You felt like, I'm done. I felt like this is the end of something. It's something along those lines. Interesting. And maybe that's why you've had to be so patient, because you just thought, like, I can't be blood out of a turnip. I can't get more out of what this was. But actually, plot twist pile 1, there's more value there than you expect. So let's keep looking. We have the 8 of Wands. Okay, 8 of Wands reversed pile 1. For those of you familiar with my readings, you know I'm going to talk about how this card, especially reversed, represents slowness. Yes, you have been very patient, pile number 1. The universe is definitely emphasizing that, not just because of the patience keyword with asters, but look at that, you have the 8 of Wands reversed. It's not a shooting star, like if it had come out upright. Like, that happens quickly, that happens out of the blue. 8 of Wands reversed is like, man, this is just molasses. It's just so slow. Okay, so it's not just a win that you thought wouldn't come to fruition, pile 1. It's also a win that when you get to it, it'll have been very, very well earned because of your patience. Okay, this is something that you won not through brute effort. This is something you'll have won through seeing what happens. Okay, even if you already feel like you've given up on it, there's still something coming. Okay, and then the middle card here is the Explorer, or the Knight of Swords reversed. Interesting for the middle card, pile 1. We'll talk about that more in a second. I want to see what the other cards around it are before I explain. Then we have another knight, but we have the Knight of Cups, or Explorer of Cups. Lots of knights, which denotes a lot of action being taken soon, as well as we're getting into the cards that describe the impact of this. And then, oh, beautiful, pile number 1. We have the 10 of Cups at the very end, upright. Okay, so I want to emphasize this. This is a fantastic outcome, pile 1. The 10 of Cups represents happily ever after. It represents sometimes like wishes granted, especially along the lines of things that are emotional or regarding like relationships, because of the cup suit representing water, which in tarot, that's what water is all about. Our connections to other people, sometimes our intuition too, but also like our relationships and our feelings, our heart, okay? So you have lots of water. We have the both Knight of Cups, 10 of Cups. So I want to say for a lot of you, this is very emotionally invested. Like, even though I think you kind of gave up on it because it was taking so dang long, it's like when it comes to fruition, pile 1, you're going to feel this reinvigorated, okay, now I'm like emotionally invested in what this is. And then, yeah, let's talk about the Knight of Swords reversed, because in the middle, I was like, oh, I want to see what comes out in context. So that can also, pile 1, represent a time of things happening slowly, okay? Because the Knight of Swords upright, typically, he's someone who goes very fast. He's the fastest of the knights out of the 4 of them in the court cards. But reversed, it's like, oh, things are kind of slow, especially with that 8 of Wands reversed. So, interesting. I'm not saying too much about what the win is itself yet, pile 1. These cards that Spirit had come out are really emphasizing like how you get there, but they're not saying specifically what it is, okay? We'll see probably more of that with the Oracle cards that we'll draw, but a lot of you probably already know what it is just based on the descriptions of, as I said, you've had to wait for it for a very long time and you thought it wouldn't ever come to pass. Especially with all these slowness cards. And then I think too, pile 1, part of this is also something that you tried to tackle from like a logical perspective, but what's going to get you this win is tackling it from an emotional perspective. That's because of the Explorer of Swords, or Knight of Swords reversed, which indicates like something that you tried to tackle logically didn't work out. But then you have the Knight of Cups upright, which is a different kind of knight than the Knight of Swords, right? And he is someone that tackles or takes action on things regarding like his feelings. So if you're asking, you know, kind of what's the gateway towards this win, it is something that will be won, or like the key to it is like through your heart and your feelings, okay? You know what? It's one of those situations too, pile one, where I feel like it's evaded your grasps for so long that I think you kind of emotionally cut yourself off from the result, or like you emotionally cut yourself off from like caring about it, because it was almost like preparing yourself for disappointment too. That's another feeling I'm getting really strongly on this. Yeah, so let's look at your oracle cards, pile number one. I want to see more about what the win is, of course, as well as the impact. Although I will say the impact we already know. Very happy outcome with the Ten of Cups. Let's look at your Sacred Destiny Oracle. Can you tell me more about the win itself, Spirit? What's the win itself? What are they winning? Thank you. Okay, this one says, pick me. We have opportunity. Oh, an opportunity. Oh, okay. 1 second on that, pile one. I'm going to draw a Lenormand on that as well. An opportunity. Oh, it's like you've been waiting for a ship to come in to take you somewhere, and it feels like the ship is never coming. That's what I'm hearing, pile one. You're waiting for an opportunity, and that's the win. Okay, anything else about that, pile ones for Spirit? Let's see, we have in the Broom, which can mean repetitiveness, something happening frequently. It can also mean something harsh. Oh, you've had a really hard time with this too, pile one. Maybe that's why you've so emotionally like cut yourself off from this win or this victory. It's like you, too, because of the repetition motif of the whip or the broom in Lenormand, it's like an opportunity that has been repeatedly denied you. I don't know if like some of you have been like looking for a job and you've been repeatedly turned down or denied. Like that's one way that this might manifest. Or like some of you that might do some sort of project, or like, I want to say, like, for an example, pile one, say you have a project at work that you really think would be great for the company, or some idea that would be really great for the company, and, like, repeatedly it got turned down, and, like, you're looking for an opportunity to, like, bring this forward because you know it would be a success, and you know that it would also bring you some appreciation for what you brought forward. But, like, it's like you've repeatedly been denied this. Or, like, same thing, too, if you work in a creative field and you just are not finding an opportunity to get your big break, okay? Or, you know, you trying to submit a novel and you keep getting rejected, or it's that kind of feeling. Of course, I mean, kind of adjust that for your situation, pile one. That's why it's coming, though. And that's why you've had to be so patient and it's been so sluggish, because it's like every single time you try to open a doorway, get your foot in the door with something, you get denied with it. So the good news is, pile one, that's the win that's coming, though. This is going to turn around. Everything you had to be patient with, everything you've been waiting for, that you've been rejected repeatedly, or opportunities have been denied to you repeatedly, that's what you're going to get soon. That's the win coming. So obviously, another thing with the impact is going to be success of some sort in this area of this thing that has been like repeatedly denied to you. Let's keep looking at your other oracle cards. I want to see more details here, pile one. Beautiful. Anything else, Spirit? Can you tell us more about the win and the impact itself? Here's the Hero's Journey Oracle. Right here. Oh, you've won the lottery. Hey. Number 38. Make room for wonderment. Now, obviously, pile one, this doesn't literally mean... Well, I mean, maybe you literally will win the lottery, in which case, congrats. But I know at least here in America, the Powerball is, like, huge right now. So if you win the lottery, happy day to you. But what this card means, though, on a more mundane level, pile one, is it's something that, like... Because lottery always indicates a feeling of chance, right? It's always a game of chance. You throw your money into a bit of a pool, and you're hoping that the Wheel of Fortune turns to your section or your dial, right? I almost wonder, pile one, if you have invested a lot in this too, and that's why you've deadened yourself so much emotionally to the outcome, because it's like if you lose, or if you were, like, if this... Like, if I'm telling you it's not going to be repeatedly denied to you, I'm seeing that. But say if it were, say if that was the timeline, it's like you've put so much into it that, like, to be emotionally invested would be to feel like not only that you failed, but at the same time, too, that you felt like, oh man, I'm such a fool because I invested so much into this. Does that kind of make sense, pile one? So that's where, like, this you've won the lottery comes in, because it's like you bet on the right horse. It's just that sometimes it takes longer to see the results. Yeah, let's keep going. I'll draw a Lenormand for that too. Let's draw your other oracle card though. We have Joyous. Lots of really positive cards though, pile 1. Look at that. We have Joyous. Something that's going to make you very happy. Something that's going to make you very joyful. Let's grab the Lenormand. Okay, you won the lottery. Okay, this one says, pick me for the lottery. We have the Owls. Okay, so something with communication. A lot of moon imagery here, too. Crescent moon, specifically, pile 1. It's like a moon you've been forever waiting to wax. And then we had these two pop out for the Joyous. So we have, ooh, luck, too. Ooh. So we have the Clover and the Crossroads with Joyous. So luck with a path, or luck with a choice. Yeah, you know what, pile 1? I'm sorry, it's a little, just, I don't want to say vague, but it's like they're saying you're going to have luck with a choice. Like, you're going to finally find a crossroads here. Where it's like for the longest time you've been walking on this one path, and you feel like it's been the only path you could walk with this thing that you're trying to achieve. And all of a sudden, this lucky break comes out of nowhere. That's why you got the Clover. That's what that represents in Lenormand. And the lucky break, pile 1, is something to do with you're given an option or a choice of some sort. I think that's related to the opportunity. It's like you're finally, instead of being stuck on this one solitary, really slow molasses path, you're given a choice for a path that moves a lot faster. So it like elevates your career or this goal, whatever the thing is that you're trying to achieve here. It makes it go exponentially faster. So there's also the element of things speeding up too, when it had been slow before. And then the communication of the birds with the you won the lottery. I think it's also partly someone's going to communicate something to you soon. Soon they're going to tell you, hey, we finally have this opportunity for you, like, say it be a job, or like, hey, we're going to give you a big break here. We're going to, I'm trying to think of different examples. Like, say you're writing a novel, an agent says, hey, I want to take on and represent your novel. Or, maybe finally, like, someone at work, say you had an idea, comes forward and is like, hey, I heard that you might have already put this forward in the past, and maybe you got kind of turned down, but I was thinking about it, and actually, I think that's a really, really good idea of yours. It's something like that. And I want to say, if there's someone like communicating to you about the opportunity, they're a water sign, pile 1. I definitely get that feeling. So it's a water sign person that will be like, hey, I've noticed you've been denied repeatedly, or maybe if they haven't noticed that necessarily, it's like finally you're just given that choice. You're finally given that lucky break here. And of course, the impact, pile 1, I mean, straightforward, obviously success, right? But also, too, with the 10 of Cups, that emotional fulfillment and that happily ever after. So, yes, if I had to say what area of your life, more specifically, it's something to do with the happiness of the heart. So it doesn't necessarily mean like a really big break in terms of finances, pile 1, because I don't see any Pentacles cards. It also doesn't necessarily mean like a really big break in terms of like a huge career thing, but at the same time, it's like even just that tiny little grain of opportunity is something that will like expand exponentially. It's like the tiny little foot in the door that will break through, I think, because of this water sign person that opens it just a crack. And even if you put your idea out there to this person into the ether, just like a whisper, it'll be enough, that little whisper, to get things going. It's almost like they're showing me, like a spirit, that like there's this big pile of opportunity here, and it's like this one little tiny grain of sand dropped down on it causes this avalanche of just like greater opportunities coming. So I know, pile 1, it's been difficult. You've been waiting a real long time, and you've been really, really patient. I see that with the cards that have come out. But all of your waiting will have been worth it, I guarantee you, because it's like, it almost feels like all the luck that you've been denied so far has been kind of been waiting and piling up in a treasure hoard. And then there's that tiny grain, like I was talking about, that tips the scale of the balance more in your favor. And then whoosh, there comes all the luck that you were like waiting out on that just was not coming into shore earlier. You're like, where was all this luck earlier when I was struggling and when I was like waiting so dang long for this thing to come to fruition? But yeah, let's see if there's any timing here. Spirit, can you tell me a little bit more about timing for pile number 1? Can you give me like a season with the elements of the cards maybe, or months with the numbers? Right there. Okay. All right, well, we have the Pentacles, and Pentacles tends to represent autumn in my perspective, and we are right now at the time that this is uploading. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it is autumn, okay? And then we have the 2, which tends to represent, it could be like, well, the second month would be February, right? But it can also be like the second day of the month, so maybe like October 2nd, if you're watching this close to when it uploads. It could also represent like 2 days from now, 2 weeks, or 2 months, something along those lines. But I'm feeling pile number 1 that this is pretty close, okay? Oh, that's beautiful. There's a little hummingbird. And actually, I think today is it either National or International Hummingbird Day that I'm recording this? How fitting. There's actually 2 hummingbirds on that. How pretty. And hummingbirds come in quick, and they come in quiet, pile 1. They're very, very tiny birds, but even those little tiny birds, just like that grain of sand I was using as the metaphor earlier, can have a really big impact, okay? The way that they pollinate and fly from flower to flower. So all the little efforts, all the struggles so far, pile 1 will have been worth it, okay? And 2, because the 2 of Pentacles had come out reversed, though I use this card as a timing card, that does technically represent an imbalance of some sort. So I think part of this is like something's going to be brought back into balance too. Okay. Beautiful. And the impact in general, pile 2, or sorry, not pile 2. I said that because I was looking at the 2 of Pentacles. Pile 1, not pile 2. Yeah, it's not the biggest breakthrough, but it's a tiny breakthrough that will lead to, as I said, an avalanche of breakthrough eventually. It's the tiny little tip of a scale in your favor. And that will help you grow and find even more opportunities down the line in whatever the thing is that you feel like has been denied to you for a super long time, that's been going very slow, that you thought maybe wouldn't even ever come to fruition. Okay. So beautiful reading for today, pile 1. If I had to summarize in one sentence, it's a tiny little foot in the door that will open giant doors for you in the future. Okay? So that's your reading. I hope you liked it. I hope it resonated with you. And most of all, that, it helped you, right? So if so, please like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 1. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about your next win with a big impact. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the Ethereal Visions Tarot for your deck today. Now, as we always do when we choose with tarot decks, I'm going to put your pile leader card back into the deck so it's available for the message if need be. And let's shuffle your tarot cards right now to glean more insight. So, Spirit, for pile number 2 today, can you tell me more about their next big win and the impact it will have? Thank you. Okay, for sure, this one. Beautiful. There is your tarot spread. We'll explore that in a moment. And then I also want to start with one of the oracle decks. We'll have a flower card. And there you go, pile number 2. Your flower for today is the Gloxinia. We have Love at First Sight and Proud Spirit. When I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you knew, is the quote with that card, and that was from William Shakespeare. Probably, I would guess from one of his sonnets, if not one of his plays, right? So love at first sight and proud spirit. I almost want to say, pile 2, this win is something that is not currently visible to you. And I mean that in the way of, it's not like something that you've been working on for a super long time. It's not something that you've had like your eyes on the prize for. It's more something that comes out of the complete blue. And at first, like, your first instinct might kind of be like, oh, I don't know, what is that, right? But then the second after that first instinct, you're like, oh my god, that is perfect. It's something along those lines. And I know that's very odd, but I say that because the love at first sight. It's one of those things, like, you know, even when you think about, like, the cliche of love at first sight, you, like, you know, picture, like, two people seeing each other. And all of a sudden, at that first glance, after that first instinct goes away, they're like, oh, I actually really, really like this particular person. But in the situation for you, pile 2, it's like the win is like the other person in the situation. So I guess my main piece of advice so far, we have tons of cards to look at otherwise, but be open-minded with this win. Be open-minded to what might be coming forward. And then we also have proud spirit, okay? Something that's going to make you proud, something that's going to make you feel confident. For some reason, I don't know why, and this is really out of the blue. Maybe some of you are like a fashion designer or something, I don't know. Spirit keeps bringing up clothes. It's like something that feels like a really, really good piece of clothing to wear that just makes you look very proud and good. I don't know. I'm not saying the win is like a piece of clothing. It's not that, but it's... The reason why I say that is because the imagery I'm seeing here intuitively is like you being at a store and then looking for like the perfect outfit, and then you turn around and kind of like the love at first sight imagery or like message that we described earlier. You turn around and then right sitting there in front of you on the rack is like the perfect thing. You're like, that is the most wonderful shirt. It's right up my alley. It's at a great price. It's something along those lines. And you don't expect it because you're like, you know, you went in there, you went to that store, metaphorically speaking. You're like, well, maybe we'll find something here. And then it's just you find love at first sight. This is great. That's the kind of win I'm talking about. Obviously, we're not talking about literally a shirt or, you know, maybe not literally like a romantic partner, right? But that kind of feeling. A surprise. Then your first tarot card is the Page of Wands reversed. Yeah, so you weren't looking for it. You weren't exploring. You were like, oh, I don't know, la-di-da-di-da. Like, didn't... Out of the blue, though, it comes. Because the Page of Wands reversed tends to represent someone who... they're not really exploring a passion. They're not exploring something that they're ambitious about. So even at first sight with this win, pile 2, you might just kind of be like, oh, I don't know if that's right for me. But then you think about it for like a second longer, and you're like, oh, yes. Actually, wait, this is a win. This is an opportunity I need to take. Okay. How curious. This is a really cool reading, pile 2. Let's see what else pops out. We have the 6 of Swords. Okay, yep, and then it's like full speed ahead. At first, you're like, I wasn't really looking for it. And then we have the 6 of Swords, which is about like moving forward, moving to better pastures, moving to greater places. Okay. Some of you, it might literally be kind of an unexpected opportunity to physically literally move somewhere, and maybe you weren't necessarily thinking about moving, but then something comes up and you're like, oh, that is the perfect property for me, or like that is the perfect thing that I want to do, and it just clicks. Okay. Cool. Okay, and then the third card is the 9 of Swords reversed. Okay, this is part of the impact we're already getting to, pile 2. The reason why it's a win, this thing that comes forward, is because it reduces your anxiety about something. It reduces your stress. So whatever has been stressing you out a lot recently, or maybe multiple things have, pile 2, this is part of where this win is going to impact. It's going to reduce your anxiety or your stress with something. Maybe like your current living situation is bad, and then this opportunity comes along and you're like, oh, that is perfect. I'm going to jump right on that love at first sight feeling. Or maybe it's even, you know, if you currently work at a business, right? And you weren't really expecting to get promoted or expecting to make a move to a different department, but then the opportunity comes up and you turn around and it's like finding that perfect shirt at the store and you're like, yep, that's mine, yoink, right? That kind of thing, because it reduces your anxiety in some way. It makes you feel better about something, okay? Then we have the 5 of Wands reversed. Okay, it reduces competition too. Interesting. So for those of you where this is work related, I think you're also going to be moving to a better place in terms of tension with other people. Same thing too, like if this is like a literal physical move for you, pile 2, it's a place of a lot less tension and like stress with other people, because the 5 of Wands tends to represent people butting heads, especially when it comes to like egos and like opinions, whereas reversed, it's like releasing that. So less tension, less stress, and on top of that, less conflict with other people. And then last but not least, we have the Sun reversed. Interesting. Now in a reading like this, I would almost read that Sun reversed as interesting. You know what? I'm going to draw a Lenormand card on that pile number 2. Spirit, can you explain a little bit more about the Sun reversed? What does that represent with this? Because we had reducing anxiety. Okay, this one is like pick me. We have the Anchor with stability, solidity, firm ground, feeling like we're anchored in place. Okay, so pile 2 with the Sun reversed, which we usually would represent either something is obscured as well as something that maybe seems... Oh, I bet you that's why. Okay, it just clicked. Sorry for the hesitation there, pile 2. I was like, why does the Sun reverse come out for, Spirit? And then the Anchor helped. Okay. What it means, pile 2, is the reason why you're initially maybe not at first glance sold on what this is because it deceptively doesn't look like the best option. But then if you look at it closer, you'll realize, oh, this provides me greater stability. That's what the Anchor in Lenormand represents. Okay, so that's what the Sun reversed is. It typically would represent something that is like, it doesn't look like the way it actually is, or something that is kind of obscured, like there's not light cast upon it, something that maybe doesn't look happy at first glance, but with the explanation of the Anchor, it's like, but actually it provides a stability that you were looking for. So once again, I'm drawn to thinking of like maybe it's a out of the blue promotion or like departmental move opportunity, you know, depending on the kind of workplace you work at. Or like if you have your own business, at first you might get, like say a customer comes forward and is like, I want this wholesale order. And at first you're like, I don't know, I haven't worked with this customer before. They're ordering quite a lot and I don't know. Like it's something that makes you kind of uneasy at first. But then when you look at it closer, you're like, well, actually, wait, this is a really great opportunity. And then that's like the love at first sight. Oh, this is perfect. And once again, remember, it's going to make you proud. That's another hint as to what this is. So let's look at your oracle cards. That will also provide some more insight. Spirit, can you tell us more about the win and the impact? The win and the impact. The win that's deceptive. So we have openness. Interesting. Something clears up and you see it clearly, which is kind of like the Sun message we already talked about, so I won't repeat that too much. And then openness too, it's like something opening up to you. If you're moving, pile 2, you're moving to a place with a lot of more open space. I almost want to say it's like from packed together to more rural. Or like open fields. If it's not a move in terms of like your physical home location, I want to say it's something along the lines of an openness with like something that gives you more opportunity and more room to kind of try things and more room to like spread around and maybe do something that's not quite so regimented or restricted. There's a feeling of like release, a feeling of, I mean, not just with the lesser tension of the 5 of Wands reverse, but like a release in terms of, okay, now the chains aren't on you anymore. You're not being held back. That's the phrase I want to use. You're not being held back. It's an openness of, here's a key to the cage. Now you can unlock the cage and now you're free to try greater things. Maybe that's where the pride comes in too. Lenormand on that. Anything else you want to say about the openness message, Spirit, for pile 2? Get some clarifier here. And look at the clouds. Literally, we have the clouds just like we did in the openness card here. Okay, so the clouds, pile 2, often represent something being kind of obscured or confusing, which we did see that with the Sun reversed. Okay, so they're really emphasizing that for some reason. I think where you're at now, pile 2, there's a great quality of a feeling of either confusion or things being unclear. The win here and its impact, because of such an emphasis on so many similar cards meaning kind of the same thing, pile 2, is that it's going to get rid of that lack of clarity. It's going to clear the clouds away. It's like kind of having been in a storm or things are kind of foggy, and then all of a sudden the clouds clear. There's the moon. There's the light. Or like with the sun reversed, it's like finally the sun will go upright. Light is shed on things. Oh, I understand now. Oh, things are happy now. Okay. And it provides that stability. So that's kind of the major connected message here. So not only is it an unexpected win, it's a win of life being made a lot more simple and clear. Okay. Let's keep looking at your oracle cards. And then at the very end, I'll try to find maybe a timing part of the reading for you, pile 2. I want to give you some heads up on when the timing of this is, too. Anything else, Spirit, you want to say about this for pile 2? Well, this one says pick me, so we're picking it. We have a splendid torch. Blaze brightly. What is all this imagery of, like, light? But that also speaks to the pride thing, like with the proud spirit of your Gloxinia that came out at first. You're going to be able to shine more, too. I think part of the issue where you're at right now, pile 2, is that you're not allowed to shine brightly enough. There's something that really dampens your light. There's something that dampens your spirit and dampens who you are. And then this win occurs that you don't expect, and then it's like you're allowed to shine brightly. You're allowed to show more of who you are and what you're capable of. Like, I feel like where you're at right now, especially if this is a job for you, pile 2, where you're at right now, you're really undervalued. And you're really kind of held back. I think that's why the universe wants to provide you this opportunity, is because it knows you could shine brighter. Okay, let's do another Lenormand on that, too. Anything else you want to say about the Splendid Torch one, Spirit? Right there, okay. We have the Lily, which sometimes can mean sexuality. Sometimes it can mean peace. Sometimes it can mean, like, aging, like elderly. Interesting card to get with that one. Okay, so Splendid Torch with the Lily. I almost feel like because of the other cards, this is leaning more into the peace message. I think not only are you allowed to actually shine more, pile 2, with this win and its impact on you, but it's also a greater stage of peace to allow you to do so. Like, I'm trying to find a more eloquent way of putting that. So basically, like, you know how sometimes in life, pile 2, when you're really stressed out and when you're really feeling like nothing's going your way, things are tense, you're not always at your best, right? You don't always produce your best work and your best ideas when everything else is out of alignment. This is like, things come into alignment, things come into such a peace compared to what it was before, that you are able to shine brighter because of that. So I think that's what the Lily means with the Splendid Torch. It's like a stage of peace for you to enact like your greatest work, okay? Or like greater work than you are doing right now. Not that like what you're doing right now, pile 2, is bad. And it's not like, even if it's like less than your best, it's not like it's your fault, because this is very like environmental kind of reasoning I'm seeing here. But it's like because of that coming forward, it's like all the better for you to do even better, for you to succeed even better, for you to shine even more, okay? And then let's look at your last oracle card from the Earthly Spirit Moon Oracle. Oh boy, that is a lot of cards. Okay, we had them quite, just wanted to come flying out. We have beautiful, yes. You shine so much more. And that kind of makes me think of the clothing metaphor again, pile 2, because she's wearing a very beautiful white dress. I don't know what it is. It's just like everything that makes you you in the best way is allowed to display more with this. And then the other 2 is manifest and spirit. Okay, so yeah, manifesting something. Manifest, beautiful manifest and spirit, and then we'll draw one last Lenormand on these. Anything else you want to say with these 3 cards, Spirit? Right there. The stars. your goals and your hopes. What helps you navigate. Beautiful manifest spirit. It's odd because pile 2, I know I said at the very beginning, this is something that you're not expecting. This is something that is like a love at first sight. You turn around and you're like, oh, actually, I do want whatever that is. Even though before you didn't necessarily recognize it. But I think deep down on a soul level, it was meant for you. It's almost giving me like life lesson, life plan type vibes here with these cards, especially because of spirit in combination with the stars. It's like your divine timing period of life where you're meant to shine. And then that's another thing, pile 2. We have so many cards that are like light and like shining imageries, okay? A lot of full moons too. And of course full moons mean, you know, right? Manifesting something comes to its greatest fruition. I want to say part of the impact here too, pile 2, is not just a time where you're allowed to shine, but it's like one of the greatest periods of time in your life in terms of manifestation, in terms of you at your absolute best, producing the absolute best in whatever is important to you, okay? So, yeah, wonderful reading, pile number 2, holy crap. And yes, it provides stability too. That was the other impact we talked about with the anchor. So, last but not least, I did promise a card of timing. So I want to ask Spirit, can you tell us a little bit more about the timing of this, Spirit? Can you give me, correlate the suit of the card with season and then maybe numbering too? Right there, okay. We have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so wands to me tend to represent summer because they're related to fire. And the ace tends to represent like number 1. It's number 1, pile 2. So I want to say, at the time this reading is uploaded, it is the very tail end of summer. So I want to say if you're watching this right when it's uploaded, you will get this win by the fall equinox, which I believe is September 21st, if I'm not mistaken. So I would say by September 21st, if you're watching this right away, you're going to find this opportunity, this thing. That, or depending on the time you watch this video, it's going to be like the next summer. And I want to say early because of the ace, which is like I said, number 1. It's kind of the first of each suit. Or it's like the 1 of a month, or like a 1 in terms of timing, like a day from now, a week from now, 1 month from now, something along those lines. Okay. Beautiful. So shine bright, pile number 2. Don't be afraid to or hesitate to shine brighter. Take that opportunity. Let yourself fall in love at first sight with it, okay? So that's your reading for today. I hope, of course, most of all, that it helped you and that it resonated and you liked it. If so, please like the video, comment down below, or subscribe to Lone Pine Tarot if you haven't done so already. And as is the tradition in our community, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile 2. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, pile number 3. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about your next win with the big impact. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the deck of the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot for your pile. And as we always do when we choose with decks, I'm going to put your pile leader card right back into the deck so it's available for the message if need be. So Spirit, please come forward and tell us more about the next big win coming pile 3's way, as well as a glimpse into what impact it will have. Thank you. Okay, we got the Queen of Cups reversed, and then this one just kind of almost flew out. We'll take that, and there's number 2. Okay, we'll start here, 3, 4, and 5. And we're also going to draw one of the Oracle decks to start here, pile 3. I have not used the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot in a very long time. Oh, we actually got 2 flowers. Okay, so we'll have 2 flower cards. Let's unveil those right now. We have the Hibiscus with Beauty and Happiness. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. That quote is by John Keats. And we have the false indigo, immersion and intuition. When you reach the end of what you should know, you will be at the beginning of what you should sense, by Khalil Gibran. So, beauty and happiness and immersion and intuition. What an interesting set of keywords right off the bat. Beauty, happiness, immersion, and intuition. I almost wonder, pile 3, if you already have a feeling about what this win is because of the message of intuition. You might not consciously know it right now, but there might be a subconscious feeling of like, my gut is telling me that the win is ... Let's see what your other cards say. We did have the Queen of Cups reversed come out first. That tends to represent something that we do feel deep down, but we're not necessarily recognizing it, just because, normally a Queen of Cups upright, pile 3 is someone who's very in tune with her emotions. She has a mastery of her feelings deep inside. She honors her emotions. She honors her heart. Reversed, it's kind of like, maybe we're not necessarily honoring the way we feel about something. Okay, also Cups can technically be the suit of intuition, like your false indigo had indicated. So, I don't know, it's like you maybe know it, but you're denying it. Or maybe you know you want it, but you're denying it. Okay, I'm very curious, pile 3. Let's see what else you get. You also received the Judgment card, okay, number 20. Excuse me. Judgment, leveling up. Spiritual growth. Oh, I don't want to say it yet, pile 3. I think I have a feeling what this is already, but let's see. Then we have the Nine of Swords reversed. Beautiful. Okay. Similar to pile 2 today, they had the Nine of Swords reversed as their central card. Something that reduces anxiety. That's always good to hear. Then we have the Six of Wands reversed. Interesting. So that was the pile leader today. But you got it reversed. An area of life where you feel like you haven't been winning a lot recently. Or that you have been winning, but you feel like you haven't been getting your recognition for it. And then last but not least, we have the High Priestess. Okay, speaking of intuition, guess what card you got, pile number 3? The High Priestess. That's literally what she represents. Well, also sometimes mysteries and secrets, but I tend to see her as an intuitive card. So pile 3, interesting. This is really cool. Okay. The thing I didn't want to spoil earlier, because I was like, I want to see what other cards come out, was I wanted to say I have a feeling that this win is a spiritual win. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't going to be a tangible benefit here, but the massive benefit I'm seeing with this is something more along the lines of your soul and your life plan and your internal spiritual goals than necessarily a material goal, especially because, like, you look at these cards, you didn't get any pentacles, which those, pentacles tends to be the material things, finances, career. Now, this might align with finances and career, but as I said, the bigger win is deep inside. It is spiritual satisfaction is what I'm hearing here. And that sometimes pile 3, although, of course, we care about finances and career, we care about material things because that's our existence. We have to care about those things, money in the bank, success at our job, whatever. But in the end, this is something I feel like you're going to look back on it in the future and it's going to be like one of the biggest things that brings you satisfaction. You're going to be like, oh my God, I bypassed whatever this was. I spiritually succeeded in this way. So beauty and happiness, immersion and intuition. Interesting. So let's look more at the deep dive details of each card. So we have the Queen of Cups reversed. And then we have Judgment. Yeah, Nine of Swords reversed, Six of Wands reversed, and the High Priestess. One moment, pile 3. Pile 3, I almost want to say, do some of you suffer from depression or anxiety? And I say that because, not just because of the Nine of Swords reversed, but because this is such an internal, spiritual, emotional win, I almost think you're going to overcome something regarding that. It's like you're finally leveling up out of something that's been plaguing you for a long time. It's like an emotional wound or like a mental wound that you've struggled with. And I feel like it's something that, too, on top of it, and this is, anxiety can represent this. I'm trying to think of, like, other mental health related things. Whatever it is, pile 3, it's also something that makes you feel like the whole trajectory of your life is just like a plateau versus, having, like, victories at times. I say that because of the Six of Wands reversed, because the Six of Wands reversed doesn't necessarily mean that you're not making victories. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're not achieving things. But I think because of this being such an emotional, spiritual win, it's like something's been holding you back from recognizing your power and recognizing your wins and your victories and successes in life. It's such an overhaul of something that's been holding you back. And honestly, today, pile number 3, like, the other 2 piles had more tangible wins, but as I said before, this one feels like... It feels like, okay, where's their wins, pile 3? And, I'm not dissing what they won, pile number 1 and 2. But their wins were kind of like more... They were important, but they were kind of compared to this. It was like a molehill. Your win today, pile 3, feels like a mountain. In comparison, a mountain of success, a mountain of achievement. Because, and I say that because this win over whatever this is, I think a lot of you might be anxiety because of the Nine of Swords, is so fundamental to success in other areas of your life that this one win will have such a big impact on all of them that it's an overall bigger impact in every area of your life. Okay? It's like the baseline gets better. The baseline increases and grows. And you earned it, pile 3. I almost even want to say there might be a bit of a spiritual theme here of like something that you struggled with in past lives, if you believe in reincarnation like I do, because of the Judgment card and its presence. I think in past lives you struggled with this as well multiple times. I think this life, with this win coming up soon here for you, pile 3, it's not just a win for you right now, it's a win for your soul over time in multiple incarnations. Let's look at your oracle cards. I want to see more about what this might be. This is really cool. I feel bad if some of you were maybe looking for like a tangible win here. But I promise you, pile 3, even though it's not necessarily like you're going to get a bunch of money or, here's a job or a big promotion or whatever, it will have such an impact that those things naturally will get better too. Okay, it's like a ripple effect type of win. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so let's see what else, pile 3. Spirit, anything else you want to say about their win? I feel drawn to this one. We have, protection with the oak tree. Yes, it's like, so pile 3, you see up here at the very top, I hope it's visible on camera, it's kind of fine detailed, but you have the lightning strikes coming down on the tree, because obviously like in a prairie or a field, the tallest thing gets struck by, lightning, when lightning finds something to channel down to. It's like you finally find some sort of spiritual shelter from the things that usually bother you. It's like you finally, they're showing me, pile 3, you're being given like a spiritual, mental, emotional shield, where before you felt really vulnerable and susceptible to things, but now it's like, oh, nothing's going to bother me. I want to say it's almost, and like, here's the thing, pile 3, like, I know with certain mental health related things, sometimes there aren't like permanent cures. Like, I know, like my personal experiences with anxiety, right? I've had anxiety since I was a child, like, so I 100% understand, especially those of you with like anxiety disorder. Like, it's not always like 100% cured. Sometimes it comes back. Sometimes, like, it requires like constant work. It's not always, like one day you're cured and then there, go bye-bye. But like at the same time, or same thing with depression too, right? Pile 3, some people, yes, they can have a cure from depression for a short time. Sometimes it comes back and it's kind of like a lifelong, I gotta wrestle with this demon, right? This is like you finally beating back whatever this is. As I said, maybe not necessarily permanently, but to a point where now you have whatever this thing that's been bothering you at knife point to the throat, that it never gets to you as bad as it used to because of this protection message. Let's see what your Lenormand with this card is too, though. Anything else you want to say about protection, Spirit? And I think, oh, we have the heart. How cute. Okay. The heart, which can mean love, which can mean joy of the heart, joy of our emotions. We have that emotional thing coming up again too. Protection of the heart. Yeah, it's like an emotional protection. I swear to God, some of you, it's like a mental health or emotional health related thing that finally you get over like the biggest hurdle with it, and you're actually like, you have a greater time managing it. It's a win in terms of that, okay? That, or if it's not like anxiety or like depression or like a similar mental health related thing, pile 3, it's also possibly like an old emotional wound that you've been struggling with for a very long time. That finally it's like you wake up and you see the light with it, and it's like the wound finally starts to peel away. Oh, this is beautiful, pile 3. What a gorgeous reading. Because it's protection of the heart. Like, it's like something just doesn't bother you anymore. Something doesn't, I mean, like, it's still there, I think, but you're able to fend it off more with, like, that shield as I described. This is really cool. And let's see what this card says. It's been a while since we had such a spiritual reading, pile 3. I get the sense on top of this, though, that you are really spiritually powerful. I don't know if some of you... Oh, how cute. You're in great company. Pull back to propel forward. We have 2 figures hugging. You're in great company. Pull back. Yeah, it's like support, finally. Protection, kind of like these 2 figures hugging each other. Like being protected, finally, from what's been bothering you. We'll pull another Lenormand on that, too. But as I was saying, pile 3, I feel like a lot of you are really spiritually powerful already. Like, I don't know if some of you are into, like, mediumship, tarot, stuff like that, astrology and whatnot. Cartomancy in general. I think part of this, too, because of that intuitive message I'm hearing, is it's not just a reinvigoration in terms of, like, mental or emotional health-related things, but it's also... it unblocks more of your spiritual power in terms of those abilities. It's just such a vast heart-healing message here. Oh, we have 2. Oh, beautiful. Now we have the flowers and the ship. So the flowers in Lenormand represent a gift, and the ship represents a voyage or being able to move on from something. Yes, it's like a journey. Okay, you're in great company. Pull back to propel forward, and then a gift of a journey. You know what, pile 3? I'm getting a really strong feeling. Oh, this is odd. Okay, this might not apply to all of you. I think some of you, this is a person that's going to come up in your life that helps you through these things. So for some of you, if it's wounds related to past romantic relationships, it's very possible that this is like a new relationship that heals a lot of the wounds from the past. And if so, I get the feeling that if you're currently single, there we go. If you're currently single and like this is a new person to you, like they're very protective because you have so many cards regarding, protection, but then also like the person protecting the other person in this Hero's Journey card. And it's like they give you the gift of being able to move on and make progress and feel better. Like this is really cool, pile 3. I'm sorry, I'm like gushing. I'm like, oh, this is so cool, but it really is. And then faith. So we have another spiritual message. I swear to God, it's a spiritual gift. Okay. Spiritual win. And faith, pile number 3, of course, as you know, is the ability to believe in something even if we don't necessarily have the proof or evidence that it's there. It's invigorating your faith. It's invigorating your spiritual power, your belief that life can be good again. that you can beat whatever this thing is that's been bothering you, be it anxiety, depression, etc., whatever. Let's grab another Lenormand. You know, in pile 3, this sounds weird. Like, the reason why I'm so quiet is because I'm like astounded at like, because here's the thing, pile 3, not often in life do we have such a triumph over these things. I feel like, as I said before, a lot of these types of things tend to be like a long, lifelong battle. But it's like this miracle comes forward and you're finally, protection again with the Tower, the Fortress, authority and stability and protection. It's like this miracle comes forward and it's like this reinvigoration in the happiness of life, the faith that life will go good, the protection of the heart. Interesting. Let me look over your cards here in totality now, pile 3. And at the very end, I'm going to draw a card with timing. I've been doing that for every pile today. So I apologize that it's kind of a vague win, pile 3. It's like, as I said, it's not a tangible thing, but as we discussed before, it's so pivotal as a baseline to the quality of life elsewhere that I think just by ripple effect, it will improve things like your finances or your successes or your relationships, okay? You're spiritually leveling up. You're healing your heart. You're getting protection for your heart. Believing in yourself again is like another message too, especially because of all the intuition. Because really what intuition is, pile 3, when we honor our intuition, we're believing in ourselves, right? We're having faith in ourselves. So it's a reinvigoration of that too. It's a gift of being able to move on from something. So whatever has been plaguing your heart or your mind a lot, especially recently, a wound, anxiety, depression, etc., that's the win for you, pile 3. The win is happiness and protection from that. And at least that, if not a permanent cure, because I know sometimes there aren't permanent cures, unfortunately, if not at least a permanent cure to whatever this wound or this issue is, it's a greater shield against it so that it bothers you less permanently. Okay. Beautiful. And as I said, there might be one other person involved here. That's the feeling I'm getting from the You're in Great Company card. Okay. Trying to think. Can you tell me more about, for those, Spirit, before we get to the timing card, pile 3, Spirit, can you tell me if there is another person involved? Can you give me a Lenormand card describing who they are? Thank you. Okay. Oh, interesting, pile 3. So we have the coffin or the crypt. That tends to represent, well, sometimes, don't run away from the reading, sometimes death, right? Sometimes it represents, like the end of something, someone at the end. I want to say they're from beyond. You know what? We've had such a spiritual theme, pile 3. Yeah, I think it's a spirit guide or something along those lines, pile 3, which, I mean, you always have your spirit guides and they've always been with you, so it's not like this is a new person. It could also technically be someone that's passed on, a loved one that's passed on that helps you. Sometimes, you know, they become like spirit guides too, right? The win really comes from them supporting you in the background, even when you don't recognize it. So even if you feel really alone, pile 3, that card is basically saying, especially in tandem with the coffin, the crypt that just came out, you're never alone because there's always someone from beyond that's in your corner and has your back with this, okay? All this is a beautiful reading. I love spiritual readings. Oftentimes, like I said, more tangible things come up, but as I said, pile 3, this is so impactful. This is beautiful. Okay, let's look at, last but not least, a timing. So Spirit, could you tell me just a little bit at the end here? A card that represents the timing, maybe the season or a number. Thank you. Maybe when... Oh, that was quick. Jeez. We have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, literally a journey, moving on, moving forward. That's what the 6 of Swords represents. You know, that I don't remember exactly what this card depicts in terms of like what folklore or what kind of ghost or spirit, but literally it's like someone that looks kind of ethereal holding a light, and then like someone mortal reaching out for it. Yeah, it feels like either someone from beyond the grave or a spirit guide helping you, pile 3. They're helping you through this. They have the light and they're offering it to you. Now, in terms of timing, swords tends to represent to me winter. At the time that this reading is uploaded, it is currently just passing into fall here in the Northern Hemisphere, so move that around for whenever you're watching this particular reading and where you're watching it. So, 2, I would say 6-2 could also represent maybe 6 days from now, 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now. But I want to say it's in the winter. So for those of you watching at the time this is uploaded, this is probably coming more towards like November into December, okay, when the weather turns cold. But it's such a pivotal win that it's like forever afterwards. It's just things are going to get so much better for you, okay? So winter. Seeing the light, being given the light, being given protection. Okay. So that is a reading for today, my wonderful pile 3. I hope you enjoyed the spiritual message. Of course, like I said, not so tangible, but will impact the tangible very much so by ripple effect. So I hope you liked it. I hope it helped you most of all. I hope that it resonated. If so, please like the video, comment down below, or subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful, very healing rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.